Hello and welcome to our interface overview of Ableton Live 9. This is Dan from EDM Academy, and in this video we'll be covering the basic interface options of Ableton and showing you where everything is to get started. Ableton is divided into two main sections, the session view and the arrangement view. First, let's take a look at the session view, or as I like to call it, the mixing panel. The session view allows you to see all your song's track strips in a horizontal order, and is also used for live performances. In the bottom right, we have our display options. The input and output button toggles the visibility of each track's input and output paths. The return button toggles the display of your song's return tracks. These are used to process multiple tracks with the same effects, and can also be used to process your tracks in parallel. The send button toggles the display of each track's send knobs. These are used to send part of a track's signal to a respective return track. For example, by turning a track's Send A knob to 50%, you are sending half of a track's sound to return track A, in addition to its individual unaffected sound. The Mixing Controls button toggles the view of each track's volume and panning, as well as its mute, solo, and record buttons. The Delay button toggles the display of individual track delays. These can be used to set certain tracks slightly ahead or behind the rest of the song. The Crossfade button toggles the view of each track's crossfade routing. By default, tracks are not routed. By selecting A or B underneath a track, you can set that track to abide by the master crossfader setting. With this mode toggled, the crossfader can be seen underneath the master track. When slid to the left, all tracks set to A will be audible, and when slid to the right, all tracks set to B will be audible. Unrouted tracks will be heard at all times. Next, let's take a look at the track strips in detail. First is the name panel that displays each track's name. You can rename a track by clicking on its name panel and pressing Ctrl or Command and R. If you'd like the track number to be displayed alongside its name, simply enter a pound symbol anywhere in the name. You can also select a color for each track by right-clicking its name panel and then choosing your preferred color. Underneath the track names are the clip slots. You can create, arrange, and edit loops in these clips and then play them in various orders either by clicking the respective play buttons or by using an external MIDI controller. These will be covered further in a more in-depth video. The input and output section allows you to tell tracks to receive sound from another source or to send it out to another source. This can be useful for busing multiple tracks together. The monitor setting allows you to hear incoming audio signals from other sources. If a track is receiving sound from another source, its monitor setting must be set to in mode in order to hear the incoming sound source. To resize a track, position your mouse at the edge of its name panel and then click and drag to change size. To create a track, right-click anywhere and select to insert either an audio, MIDI, or return track. The master track has a few exclusive options. In the send section, you can select whether each return track reads its incoming signals as pre or post volume fader. If a return track is set to pre mode, incoming sound is only based on how far each track's send knob is turned. If a return track is set to post mode, incoming sound is based on how high each track's volume fader is set, as well as how far its send knob is turned. In the metering section, there is a blue button that toggles between solo and Q modes. In solo mode, each track has a solo button, allowing you to hear it alone from other tracks. In Q mode, the solo button turns to Q buttons. When toggled on a track, it will send its signal to your Q out setting, located in the input-output section of your master track. Alright, that's going to do it for part 1. In part 2, we're going to go over the arrangement view.